Rachel had always been known as the reliable one. In her work as a consultant, she was the cornerstone of her team, handling high-profile clients with a mix of precision and dedication that earned her respect. But outside of work, her life was becoming more difficult to manage. Her best friend, Sam, was always in need, the kind of person who would text her in the middle of the night, needing help with rent, bills, or a loan to get through the month. Every time, Rachel would help. She would cover his expenses without hesitation, feeling a sense of duty to take care of him. They had been close friends for years, after all. He had always promised to get back on his feet, to pay her back, but that promise never seemed to materialize. At first, Rachel didn't mind. She understood the pressure Sam was under. He had always struggled to hold down a steady job. But as the months passed, the weight of her generosity began to affect her. She had pushed herself harder and harder at work to meet the demands of her job while silently supporting Sam. Every penny she sent his way felt like a sacrifice, and it was starting to take a toll on her health. Rachel's stress levels were skyrocketing. She was tired all the time, but she couldn't afford to slow down. She had to meet deadlines. She had to keep up appearances. Her once healthy lifestyle, regular workouts, balanced meals had been replaced by late nights at the office and fast food on the go. And as the exhaustion deepened, so did the resentment, not just towards Sam, but towards herself for allowing it to go on for so long. One afternoon, as Rachel sat at her desk staring blankly at her computer screen, she received another message from Sam. "Hey, I need help with rent again this month. It's been tough, you know. Can you help me out?" Rachel felt a familiar knot form in her stomach. She hesitated, her fingers hovering over the keyboard. The last time she had sent him money, he had promised it would be the last time, and yet here he was, asking again. She sighed and started typing a response. "Sure, I can send it over. But you really need to figure things out, Sam. I can't keep doing this forever." The message felt like an admission of failure. She had already crossed the line between helping a friend and enabling a dependency. She needed to stop, but something inside her just couldn't let go. Rachel's exhaustion reached a breaking point a few days later. After a particularly long meeting with a difficult client, she felt a sharp pain in her chest, a sign her body had been sending her for days. A panic attack. She barely managed to make it home that evening, feeling as though she was suffocating in the chaos of her own life. She lay down on the couch, trying to calm her breathing, but it was clear that something had to change. The weight of her responsibilities, both at work and with Sam, was too much. She had neglected her own needs for too long, and now it was affecting her health. Rachel spent the next few days reflecting on her life. She tried to remember who she was before she became this overworked, overstressed version of herself. She realized she had been sacrificing her happiness for so long, trying to fix other people's problems without addressing her own. And the more she thought about it, the more she saw how Sam had become a symbol of everything that was wrong in her life. One evening, after speaking with Lucas, another mutual friend, Rachel learned something that shook her to her core. Sam had been lying to her. While she had been sending him money for rent and expenses, Sam had been living a much more comfortable life than he let on. Lucas told her that Sam had been spending the money she sent on video games, dining out, and buying new clothes. Rachel had been funding a lifestyle of leisure, not a desperate struggle to survive. That was the turning point. Rachel could no longer deny the truth. She had been enabling Sam, but more importantly, she had been enabling herself to stay in this toxic cycle. The realization hit her hard. If she didn't make a change, she would lose everything: her career, her health, and her sense of self. The following day, Rachel decided to face Sam. She sent him a message asking to meet, not knowing exactly how to say what needed to be said. She had spent so long helping him, sacrificing her own well-being for the sake of his, but now it was time for that to end. They met at a local cafe, and Rachel could feel the weight of the conversation ahead. Sam greeted her warmly, as always unaware of the storm that was about to break. "Hey, Rachel, what's up? You seem a little off," Sam said with a smile. Rachel looked at him, trying to steady her nerves. This was the moment she had been avoiding for so long. "Sam, I need to be honest with you," she began. "I can't keep doing this. I can't keep sending you money when I know you're not really trying to get back on your feet." Sam blinked, confusion flooding his face. "What do you mean?" he asked, clearly taken aback. "I'm trying, Rachel. You know how tough it's been. I know you're trying, but you're not trying hard enough," Rachel replied, her voice growing steadier. "I've been helping you for so long, but it's not helping either of us anymore. I've been holding you up, but it's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet." Sam's expression shifted, a mix of hurt and anger. "You're just going to give up on me like this?" he said quietly, the accusation hanging in the air. "I'm not giving up on you, Sam," Rachel replied, her voice unwavering. "I'm helping you by stepping back. You need to figure this out on your own. I'm not going to enable this behavior anymore." The silence between them was deafening. Sam opened his mouth to say something, but no words came out. Rachel stood up and walked away, feeling a mix of guilt and relief. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. She had taken the first step in putting herself first. After confronting Sam, Rachel felt a mixture of relief and uncertainty. For the first time in a long time, she was doing something for herself. But the road ahead wasn't smooth. There were moments of doubt, moments when she wondered if she had done the right thing. At work, people began to notice her change. She wasn't as energetic or as engaged as before, and it didn't go unnoticed. Colleagues who had once praised her work ethic now whispered behind her back, questioning her decision to step back. Was she losing her touch? Was she no longer the reliable, high-powered consultant they had once known? Internally, Rachel was struggling too. The guilt of walking away from Sam weighed on her. Lucas reached out again, concerned about Sam's state of mind. "You know, Rachel, Sam is really taking this hard. He says he doesn't know what to do without you," but Rachel remained firm. "I know it's hard for him, Lucas, but it's hard for me too. And I've spent too much time carrying his burdens. Now I need to take care of myself." Slowly, Rachel began to set boundaries. She wasn't perfect, and there were days when the weight of her decisions felt unbearable. But in every small action, every no she said, every step she took toward her own well-being, she felt stronger. As the weeks passed, Rachel felt herself coming back to life. She started exercising again, eating better, and reconnecting with friends she had neglected. The exhaustion that had once defined her days began to dissipate, replaced by a newfound sense of energy and clarity. Her work performance improved as well. She was still the same capable consultant, but now she was more present, more focused. She wasn't just going through the motions anymore. She was living. As for Sam, Rachel received an unexpected text one day. "Hey, Rachel, I'm doing better. I finally found a job, and it's been going well. Thanks for everything. It wasn't perfect." Sam still had a long way to go, but Rachel knew she had done the right thing. She had stepped away, and in doing so, she had given him the space he needed to grow. Rachel looked at herself in the mirror one evening and realized she didn't recognize the woman staring back at her. She had changed. She wasn't the same person who had bent over backward for everyone else. She had learned that true strength came from knowing when to step back, when to say no, and when to prioritize herself. As she sat on her balcony that night, watching the city lights flicker in the distance, Rachel smiled. She had found a new sense of peace, one that didn't come from pleasing others or carrying their burdens. It came from within, and for the first time in a long time, Rachel knew she was ready to face whatever came next.